What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. I hope y'all having a great day. So today I want to discuss The Walking Dead. Of course, you could tell by the title. I want to discuss The Walking Dead. Y'all remember when I put my poster in that video? I told y'all I was gonna talk about it. We're doing it today, yeah. One of my favorite shows, like literally ever, right? So of course I was bound to talk about this. Like I always say that, but like I was bound to talk about it because it's like one of my favorite shows. I want to make like so many videos about the show, so I'm making like a little series, like just looking back at the show now because it's ended. I want to look back at the show and like make a couple like discussion videos and just talk. Like it ain't really like a like deep dive or whatever, but we just gonna like talk and I'm just gonna like review the show, look back at stuff because the show is 15 years old. It's 2025. It is 15 years old. It came out in 2010. Yeah, I'm getting old. But yeah, I want to look back at the show like with certain topics and yeah, because especially it has ended, so like it would be like cool. But you want to be technical, it hasn't ended yet, and because there's still spin-offs going on, and if you're a Walking Dead fan, you know there's spin-offs going on. Like I hope some non-Walking Dead fans are watching this video, but you know it is what it is. If you're a Walking Dead fan and you know the spin-offs is on, I'm not watching spin-offs. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. To be honest, it's kind of ironic because one of today's topics is a character that's in a spin-off. They have their own spin-off, but I watched the ones who lived. I watched that entire spin-off, like all 6 episodes, so I know everything that happens in that one. That's the only one I watched. I've watched 2 episodes of the Dixon show. Did not watch any of Dead City, so don't even quote me on that. But we're talking about Maggie today, and I didn't watch Dead City yet. But if I'm being really honest, Daryl Dixon show and Dead City are the most unnecessary shows like that you could ever put out. I don't know how to explain it. Like they're like drags, like they're just dragging the show, and it's just like unnecessary because it's like if you wanted to continue like the main show, like the mother show, like that's my point. Like just continue the main mother show. If you wanted to keep Daryl and Maggie's story going, they could have continued the main mother show, and they could have reconnected it back to Rick. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like they could do like a 3-part series, like final season, and it could have been season 12 because the end of season 11 is kind of weird. Like 11 is such a weird number to me. But I guess they wanted to end it because The Walking Dead's like whole meme was that show's still on. I'm also like assuming they have probably just more lore they wanted to tell, and that's why they made more spin-offs. But I've heard that Dead City's lore is trash, like it's bad at explaining what the hell is going on or something like that. It's just bad at explaining on the lore because it takes place like years in the future, so it doesn't really make sense like in the grand scheme of things. Like why? I don't know. I have to watch the show though. I'm gonna watch it on my own. I promise. Eventually. Anywho, today we're gonna be talking about 2 of the most popular characters, two of the most prominent characters of the show. That being Glenn and Maggie Reed, of course. Glenn played by my boy Stephen Yeun, and Maggie played by Lauren Cohen. It's crazy because I know their names by just heart because they're like household names at this point. They've been playing on The Walking Dead for so long. So, anywho, they are prominent characters like within the first 6 to 7 seasons of the show, and they play a big role in the show. And what I mean by that, they don't play like a significant role, but they have a lot of screen time, so they're prominent characters. Like you're gonna see them a lot on the show. So without further ado, we're gonna get into our first Walking Dead video, y'all.
Make a run for it?
My voice not as dumb as it sounds. You got eyes on the outside here. There's one geek still up in the tank, but the others have climbed down and joined the feeding frenzy where the horse went down. You with me so far?
So far.
So, and we're introduced to Glenn in the second episode of the show as he finds Rick in the tank. And then he continues his journey with Rick and helping them get back to the group. Of course, where Rick finds his family. And you know, season 1, they made their way back to the CDC, blah, blah, blah. If you watch season 1, everyone has watched season 1. Everyone has watched season 1. The Walking Dead, everybody knows like what happens, basically what happens. In season 2, we're introduced to Maggie, whose father, Herschel, farm owner. We stay on the farm for most of season 2, and like the drama starts to unfold. But we begin to see Maggie and Glenn as we focus on them interact. And the two basically fall in like an apocalypse love as they're sent on the trip. Now we fast forward to season 3 and they're getting married and pretty much in love at this point. Now season 4 is where we first see the two start to go through their little heartbreak as when Glenn gets sick, Maggie is unable to take care of him, and it was more vulnerable side of both of them because we didn't really see that yet. Was it me though, or was Glenn just like a punching bag? I swear, like from the first like 2 seasons, like season 2 and 3, like he was just a punching bag. I don't know. The time that he was alive, he was definitely a punching bag. Like, but in season 4, Herschel, which is Maggie's dad, he's killed by the governor, and they're forced to leave prison. And Maggie and Glenn are basically separated, as she couldn't find him before she had to leave. We then see the journey of them having to try to reunite, as we had the terminus in season 4, part 2. Glenn is found and helped by Tara, and she helps him encounter Abraham and co. And that's when we get to see them reach terminus, so where Glenn and Maggie are finally reunite, right? For the first time, they reunited. But Maggie, you have a sister. Anyways, so during season 5, nothing really prominent happens, if I recall. But Beth is killed, and that's like Maggie's. I didn't even talk about Beth, but like she's Maggie's sister, and she's just like the most hateable character. She just fades into the background. I don't know, y'all. Is there Beth stands out there? If there's Beth stands out there, I really want to know, because I love Beth, but like she just fades to the background. Like there's no mention of Beth after not Maggie. Beth after season 5A. She's like Maggie's word for like 5 seconds, and then she forgets about Beth. Like I really like do wonder, did she ever mention Beth after season 5? Because I don't know. Like, did someone find a clip of her mentioning Beth? Like, to be fair, Beth had like the dumbest death in like TV history. I swear they just wanted to kill the character off just to kill the character off. But of course, the group ends up in Alexandria at the end of this season, and things get like kind of shaky for Glenn and Maggie's characters from here on out. Like the first few seasons, they were pretty much just like there. You know, they were strong fighters. They didn't really have any prominent roles. Like no prominent thing going on besides like Maggie's family. But here's where things start getting shaky is when they reach season 5 and get to Alexandria. In season 6, we get more heartbreak between the two. So Glenn is nearly killed by Nicholas for the second time, by the way. I forgot to mention Glenn's near-death experience in season 5. But yeah, Nicholas is the worst ever, I swear. He's the worst ever. So we all remember the fake out that happens at the end of season 6, episode 3, where Glenn falls into a bunch of walkers. And I remember this cliffhanger pissed everyone off at the time. Like everyone was just like, that's it. I'm gonna play the clip. Hopefully I get the clip. But everyone was just like,
What the fuck? Oh my goodness, I can't believe.
but it's not as bad as an upcoming cliffhanger, and we're gonna talk about that one. We're gonna get into it. But they waited 4 episodes just to show us that the man didn't need to die. Like this is a clear like way to get like the season built up. And poor Glenn, I swear he's just a punching bag for like the first season, the seasons he's alive. He's just a punching bag. Like, there's no way. I don't know. Like they was to throw him into anything. But I remember this cliffhanger like pissed everybody off, and yeah, they had to wait 4 episodes for it, and he didn't even die. He crawled under the damn the dumpster, and yeah, he made his way back to Alexandria. Season 5 had the best ratings. I don't understand why they did like the cliffhanger just to get people to come in and watch and like see what happened to Glenn. But yeah, so leading up to the filler episodes in season 6, we learned that Maggie is actually pregnant. She confides to Aaron about this when they were in the tunnel, and yeah. So fast forwarding, the walkers break in, and we get the whole No Way Out arc. And Maggie and Glenn don't really have any prominent roles during this arc. I guess Glenn does come and like help to save, but he literally damn near dies. Like again, Glenn just put himself in harm's way. But Abraham saves him. Of course, Abraham is the GOAT. And we see Maggie and Glenn in their final moments in season 6B. And honestly, while this is super sad, I think this is enough stalking. Like, let's just get into like the real thing. I know I like literally brushed past like all the beginning seasons because there's a lot to talk about with Glenn more so than Maggie, but and just let's get into like what the real video is gonna be about. In the finale of season 6, we see Maggie begin to have problems with her pregnancy, so the group gets ready to like take her to the hilltop, which is an important location, of course, because this plays a lot into Maggie's overall story. But rewind 2 episodes back, Glenn and Michonne and Rosita went to look for Daryl, which was looking for Carol because Carol left because she was having her own issues. Long story, right? I hope y'all are still there. Okay. So they all, except Carol, ended up captured by the Saviors and Dwight. So while Rick is trying to get Maggie to the hilltop, him and his group gets not captured, but they get led by the Saviors to where like, exactly they wanted them to be. So yeah, the Savior arc was going on. Like they were killing the Saviors. They killed the Saviors and the outpost. So yeah, so this all leads back to the most iconic scene like ever. Come on now, like ever. the most infamous cliffhanger by far happens where we meet Negan and he tells the group,
Pissing our pants yet? Boy, do I have a feeling we're getting close.
so now we're in season 7 and we're at the most popular episode of the show, by the way, and the most controversial episode at that, which is Glenn Reeves gets batted by the head by our favorite character Negan. But yeah, that's a joke. I know some people really hate Negan. I understand, but like, I mean, if you think about it, Rick and Group killed his people first, y'all. Yeah, I have to think about it. Like, I always say that, but you know, I still love Glenn. I'm mad he's dead, but like, let's talk about it. Actually, his death turned people off of the show a lot, and I understand because of how heartbreaking it was, and it was like really dark. But I think when people like talk about this, they forget that this basically happened in the comic books. Like The Walking Dead is based off comic books. Like the show is literally based around comic books. So they're gonna like pull from the material, and that's how things are adapted. It's an adaptation. But in the comic book, it wasn't 2 deaths at the lineup. It was only 1 death, and the TV show did do it different because my boy Abraham got batted too. Oh my god! I'll make a video on Abraham, but let's talk about it for a quick second. My guy Abraham literally got he got written off the show basically. Character was straight up batted, and basically took one for the team, and was overshadowed by Glenn, unfortunately, because Glenn's death was just so unexpected. But I mean, it was kind of expected at the same time. If you read the comic books, it was expected. It was unexpected for me because I didn't read the comic books, but once I found out, like when the whole talk was going around when the cliffhanger first happened, that Glenn died in that comic books, I was like, yeah, Glenn's gonna die. And here's why. Here's why I knew Glenn was gonna die. Because one of my talking points about this video is Glenn's death was not bad. And I say that because, well, some people will actually agree with me, but it wasn't bad because just the fact that his character was pretty much dead already. I mean, guys, like, what did he really have going on? He was in they've been trying to kill him since like season 5. I swear they've been trying to kill him since season 5. He nearly died in season 5. Then he nearly died in season 6 twice. And then he actually died in season 7. So, I mean, it's just like, it was maybe just time to go. I don't know. But he didn't have much going on, like plot relevance. Like, I feel like more characters have more going on. Like Rick and Michonne, Carl, not so much, but to that video. Carol had a lot going on. I don't understand why Morgan was still alive, but whatever. Rosita, I guess. Eugene, I guess. I don't really know, but more characters they have going on. It sounds like a bad example, but there was just more going on with other characters. Like Glenn didn't really have any plot relevance. Also, to further the plot, he kind of had to die, or I feel like Maggie would have just been stagnant and she just had him with her. There's a video about talking about what if Glenn survived, and I think the video's pretty good to like watch because you kind of like think about it, like what if Glenn was to survive? Like what would Maggie really be? Like what would she really be doing? Like you think she really would have ran the hilltop? I don't think so. But it would have been cool to see him and Maggie survive and like child and the world where they would have their child and they'd be with Herschel. However, Maggie's character is also dependent on Glenn, so that's what I kind of want to get into. But rest in peace, Glenn. We're done examining him. He's gone. Let's continue. We still got Maggie to talk about. So Maggie's character past season 7 is basically where she like gets like she becomes like herself. Like I don't know how to explain. Like the season before, yeah, she was Maggie, but after season 7, like she becomes basically like she's just more important. Like at this time because Glenn is dead. So now I understand. Like she literally lost the love of her life though, but I don't know. Her character is just unlikable to me. Like we're going. In season 7 and 8, she was fine. She was pretty much just like pregnant and grieving Glenn. But in season 8, she was like a main leader, of course, for the Hilltop, and she fought back the Saviors. And she didn't have much screen time, if I recall, but she was like it was her, Rick, and the King. So there was those 3, because Gregory was kind of working with Negan, and I hate that character, so whatever. But she was the main leader of the Hilltop, and she kept the Hilltop in order to fight back the Saviors. But she definitely did put her effort into all this and to just get justice for Glenn, I feel like. So that's cool. So, but here's the thing. Many people dropped the show off by season 7 and 8, and they don't know the pain Maggie was in season 9 and upward, honestly. She's legit the reason Rick almost died, by the way, but no one talks about that. Her entire character focus after season 8 and after they took down Saviors was to kill Negan at all costs. Once again, I do understand the man killed her husband, so you know it is what it is. But he killed so many people too, and they're not trying to go out of Rick's character to go and kill him, but she is because she's Maggie, I guess. And Daryl, of course, is going to help her because he feels like he's the reason that Glenn died, which he is. I'm not going to lie, he is, but not too much on Daryl, bro. What? But yeah, she did go out and put so many people into harm's way just to kill Negan. And that's the thing, she didn't even kill him. She didn't even kill him. She doesn't even kill him, guys. So she sees him and she realizes that Negan's suffering in the cage and he's like eating his own guilt alive, bro. He's literally broken in the cage. And she finally understands what Rick meant by killing him won't make him suffer, really. I don't know, this is like definitely an interesting way to make Rick leave the show. But I feel like Maggie, of all characters, like to make the fan base hair, essentially, because she the reason Rick left the show, but she ends up leaving too, so they don't really get the hate on her, but she ends up leaving, so it is what it is. No one really agrees with Maggie's actions, so it just felt like Maggie was out of the character a little bit. That's my whole point here. Time skip happens and Rick is literally gone. And also I forgot to mention Maggie kills Gregory in the original couple episodes of the season before the time jump, and she takes over the hilltop. But I don't really care about Gregory, so it is what it is. Maggie also ends up leaving in this time skip, which I said, which I mean she just left her group to defend themselves. Okay, I mean, she just took over the hilltop. She just left them to defend herself. But she apparently left with Georgie's group to go build a civilization and a community of people for Herschel. I don't know, man. I gotta go rewatch season 9. It was so good, but Maggie leaving was kind of odd, I guess. I kind of understand they wanted her to come back and see how everything happened with the Whisper arc, because that's Whisper arc was coming up. So we can fast forward to season 10 and our final season, season 11 too. And we have Maggie's actual comeback with her son, Herschel. She came back and came to help defend the hilltop against the Whisperers in the war. And I mean, she took so long, but okay. And the entire hilltop is literally destroyed by the time she comes back. But yeah. She sees Negan and is walking around and he's outside his cage or whatever, and she's astonished. Appalled, bro. And then she finds out Negan kills Alpha, which is the leader of the Whisperers. So she's like, yeah. But she doesn't trust him, of course. I don't understand why she wouldn't trust him. But the group is more lenient on him, especially Carol. She the one to let him out because she feels like Negan's gonna be good to kill Alpha, which he did. He got this job successfully done. But once season 11A comes around, that all gets thrown out the window. Maggie basically came to a consensus that she's not gonna kill Negan. But now in season 11, she wants to kill Negan again. Really hates him again, which I understand why she hates him. But kill him again. I thought we got over this. It's just a repeating cycle. Looking at you, Dead City. Okay. This wouldn't be a big problem, but Maggie's character in this season but she's just cycles back, and she got over killing him, but just hated him. But back in season 9. But now she's wants to kill him again, and it's just huh? But no, she just tells the group straight up there when they're in the subway tunnel. She's like, oh, we should just leave him for dead. And I'm just okay, man. But we see her entire 5-episode rush to hell arc with the Reapers, right? The Reapers are basically coming after Maggie because of her group. Something with her group. I don't remember. 11 is just so bad to me. I don't know. I don't know how to explain how season 11 is just so mid, but okay. Because the Reapers are not even in the comics either. The Reapers pretty much end up killing all of her people, and she had from George's group. They even kill some of the Hilltop people, and I kind of like the dynamic between her, Daryl, and Leah. But we get to see Maggie her last emotional side before the show ends, and I do like it. I like the dynamic between them, and I like how Maggie straight up kills all of Leah's people in cold blood in front of her face, and Daryl's just Maggie, stop, and then she's like, no, and she just starts murdering them all. And to be fair, Leah killed all her people, so I really don't feel bad. Honestly, it's really dark, but I don't feel bad. So I don't know. But for season 11B and C, we see Maggie try to rebuild the hilltop, and then the whole entanglement or pushback with the Commonwealth. It was kind of interesting. I mean, she was just kind of no, not coming into my hilltop. Just staying at the gate, not letting them in. But they just bogart their way in and they start taking all that stuff. It kind of gave the Saviors arc back in season 7, but one thing about season 11 I don't understand is how they are traveling back and forth between the hilltop, Virginia, Alexandria, and they're traveling between Ohio, because that's where the hilltop, that's where the Commonwealth is. So, I mean, that's a long walk. I searched it out. It's an 8-day walk. Okay, and they got horses, I guess, but 8-day walk, mind you. There's no more cars in this apocalypse because it's been 10 years of the apocalypse. So the gasoline is gone out of all the engines. So we get to also see the unique storyline between Negan and Herschel, where Negan like guilt starts to eat him up, and he tells Herschel that basically he killed his dad. Herschel puts him at gunpoint, and Maggie is clearly like not here for any of this. Like she doesn't want anything to do with Negan, and you know it's not setting up a spinoff or anything. But yeah, but we are near the end, and all the groups come together to fight against the Commonwealth. If you've never seen like the ending of Walking Dead, you honestly should. I really think it's like a really cinematic ending, especially the last episode. It's really crazy, all the things that go down. But my girl Rosita. Anyways, I don't want to spoil nothing. But The Walking Dead always has been like cinematic, but like if you know like it hasn't been like this since like season 6. So see it come back to like form in the last couple of episodes was amazing to me. I really liked it. But for the ending scene, we see Negan and Maggie basically set up their spinoff, which I'm not gonna get into in this video once again because I never watched it. Okay, I never watched it. Now, if you want me to get into it in another video, I will. If y'all think Destiny is that interesting, I will binge it and I will make a separate video on it. I have no problem doing that. But if it's like really boring, I don't want to watch it. Honestly, it's really boring. But I really enjoyed looking back at 2 of the most prominent characters like ever. Glenn goes down as one of the best characters. Like, you know, he's like really that guy, like that hero. Maggie too, but honestly, with her flaws, I still think she's a really good character. And her character dynamics is really good. But I hope y'all enjoyed this like brand of series. I kind of want to continue. I will continue, honestly. I will continue, and I don't know who I should look at next. I just thought Maggie and Glenn would be the most interesting because I feel like they're so diverse. Like I don't really like Maggie's character at the end of the seasons, but I like her in the beginning. I like Glenn, but he dies on early on, and he has such a controversy around his death. So I thought that would be like the most interesting to talk about first. But yeah, I hope y'all really enjoyed like this brand new series, and I'm gonna continue it. Don't worry. If you have any suggestions, you can leave them in the comments, of course, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching. Bye.